so far? Just getting here, and I don't know if your eyes were wide the first day or anything like
Sure.
that. Well, how it is now.
Yeah, I think anytime you take a new job, the one consistent thing is every day is new. In our profession, as each day comes and each season, from recruiting season in January into February, winter workouts, March spring football, it's not a stretch to say that literally every day is a different day than the day before. So you kind of have no baseline as to what practice 4 is going to look like versus practice 3. Now, there's more similarities than there are differences, but in any event, there's a lot of newness. So I bring that up simply because you don't have a whole lot of time to reflect on
Okay.
maybe where you are and what logo you're wearing, but certainly understand the responsibility of coaching at a place like Ohio State. I mean, that's I think just a constant. Call it a light shining on you,
yeah.
and the standard of what this place is, and it's kind of going back to from a depth standpoint when you're evaluating guys. Was it a good day? Yeah, but is it good enough? What could be again if the bar's set low enough, we can walk off the practice field every day and think it's we're great. We got to figure it out and move on. But again, when the bar is set as high as it is at Ohio State. You walk off the field most days with feeling like you got meat left on the bone. So that specific to your question, I think that's just it. You know how, and I'm not confused as to how high the standard is here.
How did the places that you coached? It looks on paper or on a map like a pretty unique journey to get
Sure.
back here. How did that prepare you for this moment?
Well, you're absolutely right. And then the one thing when you get into the profession, the thing that you know better than to do is just circle an area of the country and say this is where I'm going to make my career.
Right.
Now some guys are able to do that, but the decisions that my wife and I both make, as we've been married 15 years this summer, and Becky's been with me every step of the way. But you take advantage of the opportunities that are presented to you. So we've done all 4 time zones in the continental United States, and small towns, mostly small towns,
yeah.
along the way. But no, it's all led us here, and been very fortunate.
I assume Laramie was your favorite, but
Both my kids were born there, so yes, it is.
Yeah,
There you
absolutely.
go.
So I mean, but those experiences. I know this profession is all about paying your dues, but I just want what's the process of picking a place like New Hampshire or winding up where you did? I just don't. What goes into that for you?
Well, I think initially, an opportunity to be a graduate assistant, get your foot in the door, and gives you an opportunity to kind of learn the business, learn the trade. You get to kind of sit in the back of a meeting room as opposed to running the meeting room. I think that's critical because you can say the things I want to do, the things I would do, things I wouldn't do, as you not evaluate other coaches, but you get a feel for what the profession actually looks like.
Mm-hmm.
And then you want to be in a position where you can coach your own position and recruit, and start making headways that way, and have the experience to do those things. And I just was so fortunate to work for a phenomenal staff at Missouri as a graduate assistant. Attention to detail, and just it was a structured program, and so just a phenomenal intro to the profession. Then go out to the University of New Hampshire. Chip Kelly's our offense. I mean, you take a job at New Hampshire, and did I know who was on the staff? No. And at the time, no one else knew who Chip Kelly was either.
Right.
But he's our offensive coordinator, which triggers a certain I guess level of success that we had in New Hampshire, which then an opportunity to then go to Wyoming and coach in the Mountain West, and then not just coach the corners, coach the entire secondary, and then an opportunity to go back to Missouri as a position coach, and then an opportunity to be a coordinator. So it doesn't always go exactly as you draw it up, but I've just been very fortunate every stop along the way.